Hey, how's it going, guys? All right, so we're gonna get right to it and start talking about the iPhone Air. It's the phone that I think a lot of people have questions about. Is it enough? Like, can it be the perfect phone? And is it something that maybe you should consider? Well, let's see. The iPhone Air is exactly what I expected, and this is my 2 month review of the device. And let's talk about 15 points that I have lined up here with a bunch of notes. And yeah, let's get to it. Let's settle this. All right, let's talk about that in this video coming up. Yeah, it's exactly what I expected, and I'm happy with it. I'm glad that it's exactly what I expected, right? It's nothing special. And to be honest, you're not missing out on anything if you have the 16 Pro, 16 Pro Max, except for one thing: the camera that allows you to have 16:9 aspect ratio when you have it in portrait. I thought I wouldn't use it. I like it a lot. Oh my gosh, it's so good because your face ends up pretty much even with this right here. So instead of this and being like in it cutting off your head, right? The top of your head, you have to move it up. And so it's awkward and stuff on a tripod if you record video. Using that instead in portrait, it helps a lot. And I don't know why it helps so much, but it does. All right, so number one, why this review is different. It's not a spec breakdown, okay? This is just my real daily life experience after 2 months. All right, and the phone ended up being exactly what I already expected, which is good. But still, I would like to have the 17 Pro Max along with this one. So if you have a 16 Pro, or I'm sorry, 17 Pro, 17 Pro Max, even a 17, be happy with those phones. Don't feel like you're missing out on anything. This phone is great, right? But this experience, the thin experience, wears off. I wear mine with a case. The case doesn't make that much of a difference, and I'll put it on for you right now while we're getting to point number two. The overall feel. This is like the modern iPhone 10 for me. So the reason why it's the modern iPhone 10 is because when we jumped from the other iPhones to the full screen and that thin feeling device, it was nice. It was like this reminds me of that for some reason. It's thin, clean, simple design. It's big enough screen, not too big. It's easy to type on. The typing comfort is perfect on this 6.5-inch display, just like the older iPhones before the iPhone 10. And this one actually is a little bit better to type on than the iPhone 16 Pro that I had before, 6.3-inch display. This one has a better typing experience. Okay, it's a little bit more roomy with my big thumbs. The 16 Pro Max was actually a bit bigger, and it would require me to hunt or travel a little bit more. So I'm thinking the 17 Pro Max would do the same thing, but it's, you know what, I do speech to text most of the time anyway, so it would be totally fine. The It feels familiar but fresh. It kind of gives the same vibe as the iPhone 10, like I said before, um, and like when it was new. You know, that same feeling of like, wow, when I had the iPhone 10 and then I put the Spigen thin fit on there, it was nice. And this kind of gives me that same feeling, right? The number three, the weight and hand feel. It's lightweight, but not a life changer. After a week, your hand adjusts and you forget that this thing is light, right? You forget that other phones are, different. I went back to the 16 Pro, or I'm sorry, I went back to my Pixel 9 Pro XL and ended up being just fine with it. And then when I came back to this, it wasn't like, oh my gosh, it's so different. It was different, but not much. Why? Mainly because I use a pop socket as well. Okay. Yes, you see the pop socket there. It's just how I use my phone. I love to have a pop socket, especially the wallet with all my cards in it and stuff. Nowadays, do you really need cards? Well, yeah, if you need your library card and stuff. I guess you have those digital nowadays too, but I don't yet. So I need the wallet. All right. So it's still comfortable, easy to hold, easy to pocket. It's not slippery, not bulky. It's great. The in-hand feel is good. Okay, the weight is good. Um, and in a case, it still feels thin. You guys can see this is the Apple case. Okay, this is by Apple, their case. It still feels really good. Let's go ahead and get this off while I'm going on with the other points. So even when in a normal case, I don't know what this feels like in a normal case. I've only ever used this with the actual iPhone or Apple case designed for this phone, this one right here. And so far, my experience has been really good with it. And it never feels heavy. Switching hands to type, it has a balanced feel. We all know that. We've seen videos. I don't need to tell you, it feels balanced. By the way, if you see a propane tank over here and stuff, it's for my roasting. I roast coffee. It's just a side thing I do. We can talk about that later if you guys are interested. But anyway, um, number 5, battery life. It was surprisingly good and better than the 16 Pro for me. And it matches or beats the 16 Pro during ChatGPT use. So that's the big thing for me that tears up battery, along with what I found out recently is Pokemon Go, right? If you let it track, it will tear into that battery life. Yes, and it will make a difference. I don't notice heating issues. I just stopped realizing it. I stopped noticing it. The throttling that you would feel up here, it doesn't overheat like it did before, but I usually felt that when it was hot outside and it's been cool. So I don't know if it's because of the change in weather. It might be, but I think the update kind of helped, the recent update. All right, so the charging speed is fine. It's doable because this phone doesn't really need it. Like, honestly, it'll go a full day for me as long as I'm not like doing a hardcore, ChatGPT talking, back and forth and stuff. And um, like, it's just I can use the phone. It's not a problem, and it'll still last for me. So it's good. And turning off badges and turning off notifications makes a big difference, right? So if you're not spamming notifications, that makes all the difference in the world. So for me, I feel like I forget his name, but he talked about this, Zolotech, I believe his name is. But I had found this out accidentally because I turned off notifications. I got tired of hearing them, and they're distracting. And you turn those off, and your phone battery life is going to improve drastically, especially with this one. So that'll help a lot. So number 6, the screen, big enough, small enough, all right? So it's a sweet spot between 6.1 and the Pro Max, or 6.3 and the Pro Max. Nowadays, yeah, the 16 Pro had a 6.3. If you're coming from the 15 Pro, it had a 6.1. So I feel like it's a good jump. I feel like I think it's the perfect size. Um, and number 7, the cameras, especially the front-facing camera. You heard about that. I changed the back camera from 24 megapixels to 48, and it's a little bit sharper. I zoom in and out on photos. I took this in low light in a concert setting, and I was able to record video, take photos, and everything turned out good. I didn't feel like I was missing anything. I've zoomed in and out of photos and such, and I'm not really feeling like I'm missing the camera too much. I'm not pro level photographer and stuff. So you can see here, I'm totally happy with, what I have in this setting around us. So it's not like I'm like pro level as far as like camera. So, but it works so good. And the front facing camera is amazing, as you know. The Number 8, gaming and performance. No lag, no thermal throttling. It plays everything smoothly, and the thinness never makes it uncomfortable. Um, it has a good balance between screen size and cooling. It doesn't turn into a hand warmer, right? This thing, the only time that ever really warmed up was in the very beginning when I was playing games on this thing. It wouldn't even be games. It would just be like just using ChatGPT, to be honest. Games, they do just fine. The modem on this is somewhat kind of iffy, I think. So cell reception, I think, was better on my 16 Pro comparing to this, maybe, possibly. But it might be T-Mobile messing with things. I think it is, because my Pixel 9 Pro is acting up too as far as like cell coverage, because T-Mobile is relying more on satellite, maybe more so than their actual coverage. I'm not sure. But there's some applications that are being supported from satellite now. So maybe they're leaning that way. They're starting to go that way, maybe a little bit. I don't know. So it's kind of hard to say. I can't really comment too much on the modem. But I do know that the battery life isn't being affected by it too much, because it lasts me, I would say, all day. This phone can last me all day. Number 9, photo video speed, daily tasks. Photos process quickly, apps launch instantly, no shutters. It's just fast, reliable, and it's got normal iPhone behavior. It's great for FaceTime, social apps like Marco Polo. It's fine. YouTube is fun to watch on here. ChatGPT works great, and the one thing that I need to mention is transferring of photos. It doesn't go very fast. So if I have 512 megabytes in here. If you wait, you're going to pay the consequences. So I would, if you're getting to like 50 megabyte or 50 gigabytes, 100 gigabytes, transfer those over to an SSD as soon as you possibly can. So that way you don't have to wait on them to transfer. But if you could do it after every other, that would be perfect as well. So number 10, your Pixel, yeah, my Pixel detour. We've talked about that. My Pixel detour. I went over to the Pixel, came back to this, and I didn't like feel like I was missing like anything or gained anything. Like it's fine. It's just a thin, light phone that you pretty much get used to after a while, and it feels like everything else, to be honest. And it's not going to ruin your ability to go back to a thicker phone later on. You'll get used to that too. It's not a problem, and you'll be happy. You probably have the better camera, more cameras, I guess, better battery life. The hero phone that the iPhone 17 Pro Max is. 11. Do I regret buying it? No, not at all. It does exactly what you'd expect, right? It does exactly what I would want it to do. I don't think it's overhyped or underwhelming. Okay, it's just solid, thin, good iPhone. Like you're gonna be happy with this thing. And I don't wish that I had something else. Not really. I wish I had something else to go along with it, right? I want the 17 Pro Max because I want to be able to compare the two, to be honest. But that's what I'm tempted to get, and eventually I will get it, but I don't have the money for it. So why would I want to go for the Pro Max? Bigger battery, a little bit bigger display, I guess. Um, but there's negatives to that too, and pocket feel, maybe a little bit more, like I said, travel when typing. You're not going to be able to reach as easily as you would on this phone. This phone is actually a little bit harder to reach than the iPhone 16 Pro, which is the same size as the 17 Pro. So that might be something that you'd want to consider. Even with the pop socket on, it's still hard to get over to here, right? And to touch that over there, or if I'm using this hand to get all the way over there, I usually have to grab the phone with two hands. So that's kind of irritating, but it's fine. Let's see. No, it's not fine. I want it to be perfect, but that part isn't perfect. So, I'm telling myself it's fine. But yeah, it would be nice if that wasn't like that. So, who is this for? Okay. Number 13, who's the iPhone Air perfect for? People who want a modern, thin iPhone, people who don't want a heavy Pro model, people who like a big screen without huge phones, everyday users who care about experience more than specs, people who film themselves. The front facing camera is a boss. It's so good. And number 14, who is it not for? People who crave maximum features, people who want the pro identity, people who want the biggest battery possible, gamers who want cooler temperatures over long sessions. The pro wins here. People who want the biggest camera bump. That's kind of funny. Nobody wants the biggest camera bump. I don't think you do. But if you do, obviously you'd go with the Pro Max, okay? Or the Pro. But yeah, definitely the bigger bump. Comes with more cameras, but you got a bigger bump. So 15, point 15, final thoughts. It's simple, and clean, okay? It's exactly what I expected, and it's a good thing. That's a good thing. It didn't shock me, but it didn't disappoint me either. When I got this out of the box, I wasn't like all the other guys thinking, "Oh my gosh, it's so thin. Wow, what an amazing thin phone." Nope. I was like kind of underwhelmed. I was like, "Oh man, I wanted to have a better like reaction, I was a little bit bummed out, but honestly, later on I realized, yeah, this is a really cool phone. It's awesome. So, and let's see, it's a great everyday phone, and it just works. Okay. Um, so it didn't shock me, but it didn't disappoint me either. Okay, and honestly, that consistency is why I'm still using it. I really like this phone, and I do recommend it. I say be happy if you have a 16 Pro, 16 Pro Max, 17 Pro, 17 Pro Max. Be happy with what you have. The only thing I would say, the 17 Pro or the 17 maybe, I'm not sure, but the 17 Pro or 17 Pro Max are going to transfer photos faster and videos. That's going to be awesome. Okay. The 16 Pro, 16 Pro Max are going to do that as well, faster than this will, but this has the selfie camera in the 16:9 aspect ratio while you're holding it in portrait, which for me, this wins over the 16 Pro because of that. Like, I love that feature. It's amazing. I mean, I don't know why it matters so much, and I don't think you could just upgrade the software and make the 16 Pro work because it's got this square sensor. Here I am touching on specs a little bit, but honestly, it doesn't matter. Like, um, specs don't matter, really. It's your user experience, and my user experience with this phone has been really, really good. But yet, I want the 17 Pro Max. I want to have the ultimate, if I could. Because I saw my mother-in-law with the 17 Pro, and I really liked the Apple case that she had on it with a white back up against the blue phone. But if it was me, I would get the silver one. So, all right, I can recommend this phone, and hopefully you guys, have found this video useful. Please, let me know if you're going to pick this up and why or why not. Not because I want somebody to comment on my video, just so that way if somebody's coming here and they are thinking about going either way, they've got somebody else to maybe talk to or get an opinion from. And that matters because, why go through a whole video like this and it not really help you? The comment section is what really matters, you guys. So thank you for your help there, and I will see you guys in the next one. My name is Mike. Like and subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you later. Take care. Bye.